And now the coaches. Former Flyers head coach and right winger, Craig Berube. Former Flyers goaltender, Robert Esch. Serving as honorary head coaches, Flyers governor and CEO, Comcast Spectator, Dan Hilferty. Flyers president of hockey operations, Keith Jones. General manager, Daniel Briere. And now we invite you to turn your attention to the Zamboni tunnel to meet the Flyers greats playing in tonight's alumni game. Number 2 defenseman, Mark Howe. Number 6 defenseman, Chris Terrien. Number 8 defenseman, Brad Marsh. Number 9, forward Patrick Sharp. Number 10, forward John LeClaire. Number 18, forward Mike Richards. Number 19, forward Scott Hartnell. Number 21, forward Dave Brown. Number 22, forward Mike Canubo. Number 26, forward Brian Propp. Number 29, forward Todd Fedoruk. Number 29, defenseman Daryl Stanley. Number 32, forward Riley Cote. Number 36, defenseman Dennis Seidenberg. Number 44, defenseman Kimo Timonen. Number 87, forward Donald Brashear. Number 88, forward Eric Lindros. And the goalies, number 33, Brian Boucher. And number 49, Michael Layton. And last but not least, the man of the hour who will be inducted into the Flyers Hall of Fame tomorrow night, number 8, Mark Recchi. Tonight, we not only celebrating your Flyers alumni, we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of your Philadelphia Flyers winning the coveted Stanley Cup.
There. So it's a great night for them to get to work again. They're all retired and, you know, doing some things. Some of them are doing some things in hockey, some of them aren't, but this is a great opportunity for them to be together here tonight. Well, we are set to go. Ken Linsman and Mark Recchi are going to take the opening face-off, and we are underway at Wells Fargo Center. Flyers alumni and the Bruins alumni, glad to have you along with us here on the Flyers YouTube channel. And very, very excited to follow the action here with you this evening. As you can tell, the pace of play is a little bit underneath what is a typical NHL game. Thank goodness from our perspectives, because we can keep up.
Yeah.
Kimmo Timonen ahead to the man of the weekend, Mark Recchi. And shot back out to center. I got to wonder, oh, poor Mark. That's okay, Howie.
Yeah.
By the way, I think the referees are really just for show here tonight. I don't think the penalty boxes are going to see a ton of use unless it's actually staged. And I don't mean like an actual staged fight, like, you know, like a little acting fight. Speaking of staged, you'll notice Joe Watson is still not out yet. That's coming later.
Yeah. The thing is you see the pace now. But there will be a point in this game where old habits kick in.
Yeah.
And players want to make something happen.
It's going to be more of a bell curve type energy, not you know. Usually the first few minutes of a game you're going like gangbusters. These guys are going to ease into this, and then I think you're going to see it ramp up as those competitive juices start to come to the surface. Here's Mike Knuble chopping one ahead, and we've got a 2-on-1. This is Mike Richards near side. Scotty Hartnell and a kick save made.
Archie's got to finish that.
We've got to figure out which Bruins goalie that is, because I'm not sure who started tonight. The Bruins with a couple of guest goalies here this evening.
He's the opposite
both
hand.
of them with affiliations to the United States Naval Special Warfare. That one that's in the net is Matt Trunninger. So he'll see, we assume, the first half of the action here tonight. Here's Knuble dropping it off for Brad Marsh. Now back in front. And Darryl Stanley set it down at his feet. The Bruins are going to take care of this. The other challenge that we have is that there's more than one player wearing certain numbers.
Yeah.
There's two 29s out here. There's two 8s.
I'll tell you what, the two 29s that are dressed in the Flyers uniform are two tough guys, Todd Fedoruk and one of the original Bruce brothers, Darryl Stanley.
And, of course, that duo is reunited here this weekend with Dave Brown, of course, in the house as well.
Maybe a picture of me floating around on the old Twitter with a Bruce Brothers shirt on from my high school days.
Oh, my God. Did you have hair then?
I did.
That's good.
That's how long ago it was.
Donald Brashear drops it off to Brian Propp. And they're going to work it around as Dennis Seidenberg firing it in deep. And Patrick Sharp, again, one of the young buds here on this team. To another one, Dennis Seidenberg. And you know, those blades just aren't quite as sharp as they used to be, are they sometimes? Here come the Bruins into the zone. Backhanded out in front, deflected just wide. Again, Brian Boucher, you know, still looks like he could play in this league when you meet him on the street. Got a little bit of rust to get off, but there's certainly some good ability left in his game. It's been so fun watching him follow the actions of his son Tyler, who is a first-year pro with the Belleville Senators. Excuse me. They've moved from Binghamton to Belleville, Ontario now, where their farm club is. And he had some injury issues earlier on in the year, but was able to make his pro debut over the holidays and is starting to find his way as a top 10 draft pick in the NHL.
Yeah, and not a goaltender.
Not a goaltender. No, actually kind of a flyer type player.
Oh, he is.
He is a shift disturbing forward.
Yes, he is a heavy hitter. Oh, uh-oh.
Here's a chance in front, and Brian Boucher stoned Ray Bork.
Yep.
Rebound is still loose, and now Riley Cote takes care of that.
When you're from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, and you stone Ray Bork, it doesn't matter if it's an alumni game or not. Great save by Boucher.
We'll put that highlight on loop for him for the next few NBC Sports Philadelphia games, and you can bet that's going to make its way to TNT.
Yes.
There's no question about that.
Yeah, Riley Cote.
Riley Cote up for Todd Fedoruk. Cote on his horse out in front, and he deflects it in on net. It is stopped and covered briefly.
Would we have gone to Toronto there?
I really hope we're not going to mess with that tonight. That was a bit of a distinct kicking motion, but hey, if you're not trying, right? Another centering pass out in front. I think we're starting to see, Jason, what you were talking about.
The blood has been moving, and you're starting to see. Oh, look at Recchi.
Recchi off for Leclerc, looking to center, and this is knocked off his stick.
It's the Crazy Eights meets Legion of Doom combination.
It's a mishmash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brent Fedek was supposed to be part of this, wasn't able to make it in the long run. If you can hear through our microphones here, Steve Coates is on the bench, and he is going to be doing some interviews live in the house.
Nice tip.
Look at bringing you some of those interviews here.
There's some other guys here.
Let's listen in.
Brian Prop.
Fritz just left him. That's great.
Maybe Don Brashear. Maybe Daryl Stanley. Riley Cote. And yourself.
Yeah, this guy here.
Not bad. Not bad. By the way, you're doing a great job on the radio. Back to you, Lou.
Now we're going to actually get a face-off here in the Bruins zone. We're going to try to check in with Coatsy every now and then over the course of the evening.
Real nice high tip play from Recchi. The goaltender for the Bruins has been the star of the show so far. Oh, there's a nice play.
Here's Knuble with a
hook
chance.
now.
Oh, again, I don't know. Let's see if we get any whistles in this game. But you got to remember, Jason, a lot of these guys played in an era where that was legal. Here's Scotty Hartnell whistling one wide. You ever watch one of those old clips from like the mid and late 90s, and you're just watching it for a couple minutes, like that's a penalty, that's a penalty,
Yeah.
that's a penalty, that's a penalty, that's all this stuff.
The clutch and grab era.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's some very hard habits to break for certain generations of these players. We are 7 minutes into period number one here at Wells Fargo Center. Brian Smith, Jason Martinez, a fantastic crew here from Lou Tilly Media today, doing yeoman's work to get this stream going for us. We certainly thank them for all their efforts.
Boy, Howie said he just happy to be able to stand up out there, and he just makes an absolute dime of a pass.
Look at this, a chance for Kimmo Timonen. And that one is stopped. And again, a great game so far for Matt Trunninger, one of the guest goaltenders for Boston. It seems to me like we're grouping errors here, and Kimmo and Hartsey are just going to keep trying to one of them scores.
Good opportunity so far. You always see a guy kind of lagging down back. Back check's not a big thing in this team, by the way.
Nope, no back checking allowed.
Yeah, there's always going to be a guy kind of leaving late. So it's going to look like a power play at points, even though it's not. Patrick Sharp looks like he can still move, huh?
He's got some wheels on him, doesn't he? Over to Donald Brashear, pulls it out in front, couldn't get the shot away, and centered it back where Boston is able to take care of it.
Donald Brashear looks like he keeps himself in pretty good shape.
He does. I mean, Riley Cote is in better shape now than he was when he played. He's really been, he's been an advocate of a lot of different, health food situations and just taking good care of his body. And, that's what enables you to do this stuff for all these years. Here is Patrick Sharp dropping it back off to Brashear. Couldn't pull it out of his skates. Brad Marsh, helmet and all, will send it behind the net. Not used to seeing that. Here's a shot by Dave Brown, and that one's turned aside. Now Sharp, toe drag, can't work it out in front. He was turned aside by Frank Simonetti for the Bruins. And now Flyers continue to work it around here as Sharp looks for an opportunity. Tried to dish it off to Brown. That was knocked away. And here comes the Bruins through center. That's Mark Mowers, number 19, or 18 rather. He's been a NHL scout for numerous organizations in his retirement years. It's kind of strange actually to see him showing up in hockey gear here at the Wells Fargo Center. Here's Riley Cote behind the net for Chris Terrian, who can't finish that opportunity.
In all fairness, Bundy didn't finish a lot as a pro.
Chris
He wasn't out
Terrian,
there for goal scoring.
753 games played as a Flyer, scored 29 goals.
Yeah. What's it? Like, you came from another team in the National Hockey.
And we get a whistle offsides called here as the Bruins were in early. Our buddy Steve Coates is down on the ice right now with Kimmo Timonen, and they're having a nice little conversation.
You miss playing? Not anymore. I feel slow and fat.
I like Coatsy with that giant Mike Flag microphone that we got. That's literally from bigmikeflags.com or something like that. Like, it's 6 inches wide. It's hilarious when you see it up close.
You don't have to go, wow, I wonder what they sell.
Nope. Didn't have to put a whole lot of brainstorming into that business ideal here. Riley Cote through center. And Dennis Seidenberg can't quite tag up offsides. And the folks here in the Wells Fargo Center are wondering exactly what the referees think they're doing. Well, we've got a timeout on the ice here as we're going to take care of the snow, and we're going to come right back in just a moment as the Boston Bruins, behind their guest goaltender Matt Kruniger, have been able to keep the Flyers at bay to this point, but Philadelphia continuing to be knocking on the door. We'll be back in just a moment.
The 2024 Alumni Game and the official jersey sponsor. Thank you for all your support in making this event possible. And also, the Flyers fans, while you're here today, you should stop by the Outfitters team store and shop all the exclusive Flyers Alumni Game apparel. And we're talking about hoodies, jackets. Flyers gear anywhere, anytime at shop.wfcphilly.com.
You were right, and I was wrong. I was way off on Philly. Way off on Philly. That team competes hard.
Foot to the shot. He scores! Moves around Petrano in that goal. Tippett dazzles. For Walker. Walker with a quick shot. He scores!
Let's go! Put your hands together for the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters. This isn't just basketball, people. This is where what just happened happens all the time. Don't miss the Harlem Globetrotters 2024 World Tour presented by Jersey Mike Subs at Wells Fargo Center on March 3rd. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for tickets.
World Tour.
One day my son came home from school and he came back with a note from the teacher and it said, "Can you please pack bottled waters for your son?" 3 bottles. I go, "Why are they turning off the water fountains?" "Joe, what is this all about?" He goes, "Oh, there's fluoride in the water and it's not good for you." I go, "Joe, you don't brush your teeth. You should drink all of that water."
Friday, March 22nd, Wells Fargo Center. Tickets on sale now at wellsfargocenterphilly.com. Joe Coy on his all-new World Tour.
Get ready for the greatest show
Welcome back here to Wells Fargo Center. Back underway
Action-packed
as the
fun for the
Flyers
whole
and the
family.
Bruins alumni square off here tonight ahead of tomorrow's game between the big clubs and Mark Recchi's induction into the Philadelphia Flyers Hall of Fame. Jason, so far, perhaps maybe a little bit expected by looking at these rosters. It's been a little bit of Flyers heavy action so far.
Yeah, some good opportunities and gotten some good chances. Bush has had a couple little testers, and certainly one against Ray Bork is no day at the park. He made a nice save there, but Bush will take a low quantity tonight.
Yes.
In this type of situation, you go, okay, I'll take 4 a period, 1 per every 5 minutes of game clock, and I can maintain that pace.
Yeah, it is a marathon and not a sprint here in this game. They definitely can't go too hard off the cuff, but they're also maybe not used to the whole 45-second shift time anymore, things like that.
Yeah, it may be difficult for them to get off the ice in 45 seconds in some cases. And you see Kimmo still moves really well, doesn't he?
He's got some moves. Oh, here's a chance right side. Eric Lindros had a puck bounce over his stick. Still got that distinctive 88 tape job on that blade.
Yeah, one of the few players that goes with the black stick and the white tape.
Here's Tiemann, tried to throw it out in front. That was blocked by Ray Bork. And now moved ahead to center.
I know Lindros does still play regularly. He's got a group that he plays with up in the Toronto area. And they get out there and still playing the game. Oh, good pass.
Here's a chance in front, and Mark Recchi scores! What an appropriate way to start off the scoring as the man of the weekend, Mark Recchi, makes it 1-0 Flyers.
Yeah, sometimes you can't script it out, and it's just absolutely perfect. And how many goals have you seen from Mark Recchi going down the right side and that exact shot where he snaps it off the toe? He gets it back in his day, he got a little more pronounced on the one leg than he did in that one. But a hard shot for the goalie to read with that left-hand shot up the right side. He snaps it, gives the Flyers alumni the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Flyers alumni had been knocking on the door before this pass from Mike Richards, and what a pass that was, actually, as Richie just wraps it around the feet of Ray Bork. Now here come the Bruins with a chance as we take another look at this goal from Mark Recchi. And in the meantime, Brian Boucher with a pretty nice save for the Flyers.
Is Boucher going for the alumni
here
shutout streak?
Here we go.
What's going on here?
I don't know. I think we might have a latecomer.
Two-time Stanley Cup champion, two-time NHL All-Star, and the only Flyers who have worn the Flyers and Flyers alumni uniform 7 different decades. Please welcome Flyers Hall of Fame defenseman, Joe Watson.
I told you, nobody makes an entrance like Joe Watson does.
They killed the lights for his entrance. There's Cindy Webster.
We were warned.
We love Joe Watson.
Cindy.
There's Cindy making a little appearance. Of course, I worked with Cindy for many years in radio, but Joe is one of the most beloved guys, and there he is with the puck. 80 years of age, Joe Watson. And there's nobody out there that's going to compete as hard as him and has competed as hard as him. Talk about a guy who's given his life to this game as Mike Richards comes up.
He's got Mike Knuble going to the net. Richie holds it, comes across, drop pass team in right side. Oh, what a save by Matt Trunninger. My goodness. Here is Richards down a sharp angle shot. His glove by Trunninger is staring to the sky as Scott Hartnell.
That was puck movement worthy of an NHL power play.
Wow.
4 guys touched the puck on that play, and Hartnell can't buy one right now. There goes Joe Watson.
I assume he's going to take another shift at some point. I'm not sure when.
Who are you kidding? Joe's going to take every shift in the game he can.
Coatsy, you see Coatsy making his way down there. We'll try to get this conversation when it happens as Brian Fropp tips one wide. Here we go. Our buddy Steve Coates is down there with Joe Watson.
How about that? 80, right?
I'm what?
How old are you?
I'm old enough.
But it's, you know, you're original Flyer. And thinking about what's happened here in the last couple of days, 50 years since winning a cup, but you started with 1967 when people weren't even coming to the games then.
That's true. I remember one game in '67 we had 3,000 people for a game. And I remember when we won our second cup, and we had a big party at Mr. Snyder's, and he said, "This is easy." Right, we haven't won it since, for Christ's sake. It's not that easy.
Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you very much. It's so nice to be out here and see all these fans supporting the Flyers. Flyers alumni. The Flyers got a good team. We're gonna win a cup here next 3 or 4 years. We got a great team. It's gonna get better and better.
Nothing like a conversation with Joe Watson. Even the only guy that I know of that can make Steve Coates sound quiet.
Yeah, that is quite the task. Amplification has never been needed for either of those two.
Well, the Flyers making a move today that perhaps cementing a piece of that hopeful Cup run in place. Owen Tippett.
Boy, I like this
for
deal.
8 years.
Yeah, I like this deal.
What was the other one? I know there was another one, but I don't know what it was.
The other one is Ryan Paling.
Ryan Paling, yes, that's right. It's been a busy day around here, folks.
Yeah, Danny didn't take the day
off. No, he did not.
No, but I really like both of the moves, and the Tippett move. Right, I mean, I think we all recognize that number was going up and up and up with this season and his play. Unfortunately, not available right now. He's on injured reserve, but he'll be back.
Yep.
And he's a heck of a player, and he's a guy that can create his own offense. And he's a heck of a good dude, too. He's a quiet guy. Bush making that look simple.
Ryan Boucher stones Ray Bork again. Got to say that as many times as I can because I think I get a bonus every time I do from Bush.
Thank you.
If I don't, I'm going to suggest that we do.
You know, Bush actually has 3 shutouts against the Bruins as a Flyer.
How about that?
Yeah, and Bush holds one of a record that I don't think will ever be broken, his shutout streak when he was with the Phoenix Coyotes over 5 games. That team won 19 games that year. And 5 of them were in a row because Bush didn't let in a goal. That's amazing.
And I got to give
Here's Steve Coates and Mark Howe.
My grandkids came here from Colorado to see me, so I said, you better get Grandpa before he gets too old.
What are they going to do when your grandkids saw you trip over the blue line over there?
Humility is a good thing. So little embarrassing, but hey, I did it when I was at my best, so I might as well do it today too.
Thanks, Howard.
I'm sure he's thrilled. Coatsy pointed that out. The Bruins have tied it.
Yeah, I gave the old goalie jinx there, didn't I?
Their ringer has scored. That's Patrick Mullen, Joey Mullen's son.
Yeah,
played his college hockey at the University of Denver. Needed a set of extra legs on the roster tonight, and he opens the scoring for the Bruins.
Bush makes the original save, and that's all you got to, especially in an alumni game. You make the first, you're good to go. Gets the glove on the first. And then Townsend ends up cleaning up the loose
stand corrected. Yeah, we were looking at the celebration because we weren't sure who that hit, but that actually hit Graham Townsend in front. So
that actually had some decent pace to play there for a second.
So it's Townsend with the goal that ties the score at 1 as we hit the final 90 seconds of this first period. Coming up in the first intermission, Flyers radio voice Tim Saunders is going to join us. The Flyers are incredibly fortunate in that they've got the longest tenured play-by-play duo in the NHL right now, and Tim Saunders and Jim Jackson.
Is that right?
Yeah,
How did I know that?
They both been here. Well, JJ's been here since 1993. Timmy came in 1997, and they both have to work tomorrow, so we gave them the night off.
Even though we have to work tomorrow.
Yes, but we don't have to talk as much as they do tomorrow.
That's a good point.
Here's Brian Smolinski moving in on that. He takes the shot, and a save made by Boucher. It's knocked aside, and the Flyers will break out the other way with 44 seconds left in the period. Mark Recchi coming over the line. Drops it to a trailer, and a pass in front. That was intended for John LeClaire, but tipped away from him. Smolinski's going to put this one back out through center. Bruins with a quick chance here as a shot whistles wide of the net.
You don't see many slap shots in these games. How about a 2-on-0?
Here's Mark Recchi with Scott Hartnell, who's going to defer to Recchi. Go to Hartnell. They can't decide who's going to shoot, and Hartnell hit the goalpost.
He can't buy one, Scotty Hartnell, tonight. He wanted to defer to Recchi on Mark Recchi's weekend, but being the player that Rex is, no, not me, you. And he gave it to the wrong guy because Hartnell can't find the back of the net as the first period comes to an end.
Well, we'll see if he can shape that up a little bit in the second period coming up. So we are 20 minutes into this. The Flyers and the Bruins each find the back of the net once in that opening frame. And we've got a whole lot more ahead here tonight from Philadelphia. Big hug there for from Smolinski to Mark Recchi. And The Bruins happy with that first period, although a lot of it went the Flyers' way. They're going to go in and rest and recover, and we're going to get our first intermission underway in just a moment. We'll take a break. When we come back, Tim Saunders will join us, and we'll chat about his days here as the Raiders retired.
Yeah. So, right to a suite for a cocktail.
I was in the suite.
Yeah.
I was getting a bite to eat, and I look up, and he's standing there, and I looked at him, and I looked at the ice, and I'm like, what happened? He says, no, I'm done.
Well, Reg could fire it in his day. There's no doubt about that. But I'm noticing that they are not switching ends, so there will be no long change.
No, we can't have a long change.
No.
None of that. None of that malarkey.
Lindros seemed to think they were going to change.
There's Joey Mullen.
He and Kenny Linsman.
Yep.
There's Joey Mullen and John LeClaire, two of the great All-American born scorers in NHL history right there.
That is some notable hockey achievements there for American-born players. And
well, Joey was the highest-scoring American-born player for a long time in the NHL.
Out of New York City, of all places.
Yep.
Wouldn't really expect that.
I think maybe Jeremy Roenick was the one who broke his record.
Yeah, I can't remember who got him finally, but it may very well have been JR. Mark Howe swatting one out of the goal mouth as the Bruins control to start off this second period here tonight. To float one in on Brian Boucher, and he'll hold on to that one as Joey Mullen checks in to make sure he's doing all right.
Boucher is making a nice account for himself here.
And you still get the boosh when he makes a save.
Yeah.
I'm impressed this crowd when Andre Dupont came out for the pregame ceremony. You got a good moose for Andre Dupont.
Boucher there, leaving no rebound. He'll take the draw.
Ray Bork winding up for one, and Mike Knuble blocked it. And here's a 2-on-1 the other way with Scotty Hartnell. Knuble to Hartnell, can't settle the pass. not happy about it at all. Here's Brad Marsh now on the right side. Behind the net for Richards, back out in front looking for Knuble, but he couldn't settle that. And Brian Boucher is going to have to tend to this one outside of his net. And he'll swat it to the side, and Marsh trying to knock it up the wall, just a little out of his reach. Second effort will get out to Patrick Mullen.
He's coming to the realization that no comeback is in order.
Remember I said in the open that we were going to be making some good-natured cracks at some of these guys.
Yeah. He's earned it. Oh, there's a nice pass, though.
Oh, here's Mike Richards moving in with a shot and a save made. Rebound will be controlled by the Bruins and scooped out to center. I had my Hartnell Down t-shirt on earlier today. Here's a chance for Boston, a save made by Boucher. Another stop by Boucher as he was a little bit out of whack there. He ran into Brad Marsh coming back. There is a little bit of back checking in this game.
Well, good save by Boucher there. He takes a lot of ice, comes well out of his net, cut down that angle, came so far out that he ended up having a collision with Brad Marsh. Real nice pass from Scott Hartnell here to Mike Richards. Richie looked like he took a little something off that shot, but here's the save by Boucher. Catches a little friendly fire on the way by, but good job on the seal in the post there by Boucher and keeps it out, still 1-1.
A moment later asking Brad what exactly he thought he was doing on that play. Says, I'll make the saves. You guys aren't supposed to be back checking in this contest.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to worry about that.
Here's Dennis Seidenberg moving it to the left side for Chris Therien.
Nice pass by Bundy.
Boy, it's hard to call him Chris Therien.
It is.
Just wants to roll off the tongue as Bundy. Brian Propp on the far side, third leading point scorer in Flyers history, trying to work his way away from Mike Krushelnyski. Bob Sweeney has the puck now, and he'll move it up the left side. Here come the Bruins through center. A pass off the mark, Donald Brashear. And Chris Therien will team up to get that ahead for Patrick Sharp down the right side. He's got Seidenberg going with him, but he'll drop it to Brashear. Pulls up. Brashear in front, holds, shoots, save made, and covered by Matt Trunninger.
Donald Brashear is going to wish he just fired that one right away. He talked himself into firing it right into the goalie's pad. Well, what a move as Bob Sweeney performs the old Top Gun flyby. Good move here. 3 players getting up the ice. Oh, yeah, he's looking for a flank there to distribute the puck and put one in easily. Just never developed for him.
Here is Joe Watson, age of 80, throwing one toward the net. Of course, Watson, a former Bruin as well. He was picked by the Flyers in the expansion draft.
Started his career with the Bruins, I think, in 1965, if you can believe it. Joe Watson, born in 1943. Does Bush know you're not allowed to play out the puck outside the trap?
I don't believe those rules apply here tonight, do they? Watson, of course, a former roommate of Bobby Orr, believe it or not, and always told that story about when he came to Philadelphia and came over the bridge there, which there was only one bridge at the time coming in, and it was not the big Gerard Point Bridge that we all know, but the other bridge on 291. And there used to be that metal scrap facility to the right there. That's the first thing he saw. That was his first impression of Philadelphia, so where cars go to die.
Yeah.
And now it's a nice sparkly Wawa. So there's always improvement.
836 NHL games for Joe Watson.
Brian Boucher plays the puck legally this time in the trapezoid area behind the net. Watson coming around behind to move it ahead. It was knocked off his stick by Graham Townsend, but Flyers get possession back, and here comes Todd Fedoruk roaring through center ice. It's poked off his stick to the corner. He'll go after it.
Pulled the puck out of his feet nicely.
Shielding the puck. Trying off to Dave Brown in the high slot.
I don't think you'll see any shenanigans from the Bruins alumni on this shift with Brownie, Fridge, and Cote out there.
Here is Brown feeding Riley Cote, and we're going to get a penalty here finally. And I think are we doing penalty shots? We can't be doing power plays, right?
I imagine they won't do it, Pee Wee style with the chase group.
We're going to get another look here.
Yeah, good recoil there. Turnover in the neutral zone, defending the line. And that's definitely a penalty shot.
That play by Dave Brown, that would make John Tortorella proud with the current Flyers.
Yeah. All right, who's going to take the penalty shot? Will it be Riley Cote?
I'd love that, but I don't think it is.
Oh, they're going to do the conventional power play, and I think Flyers are going to go with Recchi, Leclerc, and Lindros. Tell me they don't want to win?
Nobody. Not sure anybody really knows what we're doing right now, but we are going to have a power play. How about that?
Yeah, they're going to load up the blue line here. Mike Richards as the fourth forward. I'm going to venture to say they haven't worked on PP.
I've made this lineup like on my PlayStation before. My goodness. John Leclerc, Eric Lindros, Mark Recchi, Mike Richards, and Kimmo Timonen on this power play unit. Here's Leclerc in front. Save made. Matt Trunninger is going to have another lifetime story to tell about defending this power play as it comes out to center.
Now, if they do the old slingshot, I'll be amazed. Oh, that was almost dangerous.
Here's Lindros around behind the net to Recchi. He'll get it back out to the point for Timonen. Recchi on the right wing. Tried to get back to Lindros. That's off the mark. Richards, though, with a good puck retrieval, knocked away by Bork. Now back out to Timonen. This is like a fever dream right now. Here's Timonen, right side for Richards. Down low, it's Leclerc looking, still looking. Now to Timonen. His shot stopped and held by Trunninger, and he gets the whistle.
This power play group's got to give him the wave. Get back on the bench. We're not moving that much. There they go back. Hartnell's going back. Although you can throw Sharp and Knuble out there, that's not a bad power play group either.
That's just 10 years later. That's all.
I think you call a timeout here if you're Craig Berube, who's behind the bench for the Flyers alumni. Good to see Chief back in the building.
It is great to see Chief. Chief's been here scouting a lot lately for the St. Louis Blues.
Of course, still living in the New Hope area, which is great to see.
All right, power play 2 out, and Chris Terrian's on it. Here is Seidenberg to Knuble. His pass blocked. This entire power play firmly out of the 2000s decade here.
Yeah.
Terrian almost able to keep that in, but just out of his reach. And it'll come down behind the net of Brian Boucher. There is 5 seconds left on this power play. Hartnell, drop pass. That was sneaky.
Starting to resemble real hockey again.
Here's Sharp there, all sides.
Come on, ref.
Yep, you saw that coming.
Get your eyes. You're missing a heck of a game down there. That'll do it for the power play, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I tell you again, for these 4 guys, a ton of American Hockey League work for this crew here in Philadelphia. So being booed here, I'm sure they feel right at home.
Kenny Linsman in for that draw once again.
Linsman moves it ahead to Joey Mullen. Here's Mullen in over the line. Tried to drop it off to the left side. DeRose sends it around behind the net. Here's Mullen. Rolled away from him. They battle for it. Linsman had it hop over his stick. And the Flyers will control in their own end. Steve Coates is down on the bench. He's got John LeClaire in his clutches.
It feels great, being back with these guys. He's trying to keep up at this point, but it's always great to be back with these guys.
You and the Big E were a heck of a team back in the day. It's got to be special being back here on the ice with them.
It is. I mean, the magic that with Rennie and Eric that we had, it was something special, and it's just one of those things you really kind of, the more you come back and get involved in the building and the team, you kind of relive those moments a little bit, and it's fun.
Didn't you have that same chemistry with Jonesy?
Jonesy was not bad as a right winger. He was a pretty good fill-in, for sure. Pretty good fill-in.
Thanks, Johnny.
Again, the strategy to put Keith Jones out with people like Lindros and LeClaire to draw the attention away from the defense and open up the ice a little bit for those two guys. Ooh. Puck out in front, swatted away. Patrick Sharp was trying to find a man out in the slot, and Ray Bork will move this. Let's have a Ray Bork appreciation moment for us, shall we?
Goodness, yeah.
1,518 NHL games, 1,506 career points over 22 NHL seasons. That is basically a point per game for 22 years.
In an era where defensemen didn't score a point per game, mind you. There goes Bush, off to the ice bath.
Now, they didn't do what I wanted them to do. I wanted Bush to do the windmill save and then not be able to get up and then be replaced by Michael Layton, just for old time's sake, right?
Well, are they going to do the dry scrape?
I don't know
I
don't know what's.
I mean, there's nothing to scrape. These guys are barely scuffing it.
The ice will be fine for tomorrow. Let's put it that way.
I will say, like John LeClaire said, I'm out there just trying to keep up when he was talking to Coatsy. And I will tell you that John LeClaire wasn't one of those guys that took a lot of slap shots, right?
Yep.
He's just so big. He's the size of a linebacker. And when I played in an alumni game against him, he was on my team in warm-up. And he almost knocked my legs out from under me because the shot's so heavy. But we're going to take a timeout.
Now we do get the break, so we'll take a quick timeout here from Wells Fargo Center. 9:13 left to go in this second period. And the Flyers and the Bruins alumni are tied at 1.
I'm a winner to the day I die. That was fascinating. Score! Vince Jones has another one here for Philadelphia. Top and he scores. He is dead.
Be there for an emo evening featuring special guest, The Starting Line, on Saturday, January 27th at Wells Fargo Center when the Wings face off against the San Diego Seals. Get your tickets now.
I'm a winner to the day I die. That was fascinating. Scott Downey. Vince Jones has another one here for Philadelphia. Top and he scores. He is dead. Big goal for Philadelphia. Julie, but here's Reardon with the goal. Here's Reza Terrence. Tucks one home.
Tickets on sale now at wingslax.com.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Center here in the second period of our alumni game. Flyers alumni and Boston Bruins alumni. You saw there the Philadelphia Wings. They're in action tomorrow night. We got 3 games in 2 days here. We got this one here tonight, big Bruins alumni tomorrow, and then the Wings tomorrow night. As you get a look here at some of the great highlight videos we're seeing inside Wells Fargo Center.
Michael Layton has the crease for the Flyers alumni now. And what people don't remember about Michael Layton in that 2010 run is that in that series against the Montreal Canadiens in the conference final, 3 of the 5 games were shutouts for Michael Layton.
He is the only goaltender in Flyers history to have 3 shutouts in a single playoff series.
And Bernie Prompt played a few.
Just a
playoff
couple.
series, right? That's amazing. He did it in 5 games. It was only a 5-game series. The only game they lost was Game 3 in Montreal. So, spent most of his career playing in the minors, playing in the AHL, but I think he played 110 NHL games. Did Michael Leighton, and played more in Philadelphia. Played the same amount in Carolina, 33 games, and then 43 in Chicago.
Back to action here in this second period as the Flyers again knocking on the door. Brian Propp trying to find Donald Brashear in the circle, but that's knocked away, and the Bruins are going to skate it out. They got a 2-on-1 developing here. It's Patrick Mullen. Fires save made by Michael Leighton. As Patrick Mullen came in the 2-on-1 with Kenny Hodge.
That's a welcome to the game rush opportunity.
Coach is talking to Bush. We should listen to this if we can.
Fun. I give you a lot of credit because I kidded you before the game. The fact that one of the hard things about being a goalie in an alumni game is once you go down, you can't get back up.
I'm never getting up from this chair, I'll tell you that.
I know you're cramping up, so.
All eight's his game now.
Here's a shot in on net and off the goalpost from Mark Mowers.
Wow.
As you see Bush properly adorned with the goaltender towel that would make Mike McKenna proud.
Yes.
Mike is out there watching this one tonight as the shot is gobbled up. We've had a change in goal for the Boston Bruins as well, as TJ Lesky is now in net for the Bruins alumni.
Bush has got to get proper backup goaltender towel setup going there. It's got to go under the jersey. Yeah.
It's got to be tucked and maybe a little bit better rolled than that.
Yeah, well, that towel is to hold his head up right now. that is for the only purpose to make sure his head doesn't roll like a baby that was just born. Because he is feeling every bit of everything right now.
I can't wait to see him at about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Oh, he's going to be walking a little different.
Fridge, all these guys have to come to work tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm sure it's been just an absolute, if you could be a fly on the wall in the dressing room to hear the stories of generations getting bounced back and forth throughout that room, and it's got to be just some incredible storytelling that's happening down there.
Man, that's
a lot of
it
legends.
Is. They actually had a dinner last night. The Flyers did. I'm sure the Bruins probably did something too, but the Flyers group had a dinner, and the stories were just flying from what we understand. We were in Detroit and with the big club, but they were loving life.
Yeah. Look, the fact, the guys out there, they don't move like they once moved. They don't feel like they once felt. They don't shoot or pass like they once did. But the thing you miss about the game when you hang up playing, whatever level you played at, is that room.
Camaraderie,
Yep, that is the special place. It's the thing you miss the most. It's the teammates. It's the time of breaking what in there, and it's just such a special place, that locker room. It may smell horrible and all that, but it is a very special place for a hockey player, and I know those guys just love being back in there.
And it's not a
nice
save by Leighton off a quick shot from the circle. It's not a just a mirage either, because I did 7 years in the minors, and a lot of those guys, when they were done, they would go into professions like firefighting. They become police officers because
camaraderie.
They get that camaraderie again.
Yep.
Let's go downstairs and see how Fridge is doing.
Bruins brothers, not the
Blues
Blues
that's
brothers,
not
the
Fridge.
Bruins
That's
brothers.
again,
Brown,
229s
Daryl
tonight.
Stanley. Good to see you guys. Well, I mean, this is.
Be back. It's always good to play in front of the Philly fans, and we always appreciate them coming out and supporting us. So it's always good to be back here.
Could probably get a Bruce Brothers T-shirt here today, I'll bet. What do you think, Stan?
I didn't hear you.
You didn't hear me? Oh, well, you know what happened. Well, I don't know. Couldn't be forbidden hit because nobody ever hit you. No, I was talking about the Bruce Brothers T-shirts. I mean, they were pretty popular back in the day.
Yeah, they were. It was nice. It was a nice little thing that they did, and the people supported us, and it was a great place to play in the old Spectrum. Great atmosphere.
Thank you.
I believe that I got my Bruce Brothers T-shirt at a Spectrum Showcase store
I'm sure you
in
did.
the Granite Run Mall.
In one of the malls, right?
Yep.
They had one in Christiana Mall in Delaware.
Yep.
I was always mad growing up because we didn't have one in Concord Mall. That was the closest mall to me.
Yep.
But Darryl Stanley only played 89 games for the Flyers, but something like that, that'll stick with fans for years. Here's Recchi looking for number 2, and that one is gloved and held by T.J. Leske. Was that Marsh?
That was Brad Marsh.
Oh, my gosh. There's too many numbers out here.
Yeah, Marsh, you can still snap it a bit.
Well, you can see why I confused that for Mark Recchi and not Brad Marsh, right?
Yeah.
Let's take a look here.
Nice drop off there. Marsh comes in and snaps one off.
Oh, my goodness. Flyers control in the Boston zone, and it's chopped at, and Knubel's going to get some open ice. He'll dump it into the corner. Centering pass, knocked aside and covered by Leske. Again, these guys are guest goaltenders for the Boston Bruins alumni, but I wonder if they had like a tryout or something, because these guys are pretty sharp.
Yeah, is it their emergency backup goal?
They could be E-Bugs.
Yeah. I think they actually put in some rules for the E-Bug now. You got to be, I think, below 35. After David Ayers got an NHL win against Toronto, it's a Zamboni driver. Oh, no, he's not going to try the Michigan. Hartsey.
I wonder how long he tried to work on that. Here is Hartsey around behind the net again. Backhander out in front. And that one's kept in at the line by Sharp. Down for Hartnell into the slot. Mark Howe with a shot. That was deflected as Knubel was in front. But another nice save made by Leske. Let's go downstairs to the bench as Steve Coates has found Eric Lindros. Nice save by Leighton real quick.
Now you make frequent,
Here we go.
You're an ambassador for the Flyers right now, and you make frequent trips, but this is a special time.
I mean, to celebrate the 50th anniversary is just terrific to see all the guys come out there on the ice like that and get the reception that they deserve from our great fans. It's special. You know, you come here, you come to these alumni games, you're with people that played before you, with the guys that you played with, and those that came behind, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. It's a lot of fun.
Eric Lindros back for another alumni game as he's had a great run here. They have stopped the clock here during this penalty situation. It is a running clock, but occasionally they stop it.
I guess there's your penalty. Scott Hartnell tried to bowl his glove at the puck.
Oh, he's done that before, too.
Yes, he has, against the Penguins, I believe, correct?
Yeah, and then we made him come over to the Phantoms game and do the Scott Hartnell glove and mitten toss. Yeah. There's a deflection out in front, and Leighton stops it. Yeah, we gathered quite a bit of winter wear for charity out of that event. Here come the Flyers, 2-on-1. Richards scores!
That's fantastic.
The return to Philadelphia for Mike Richards. He's made it 2-1.
Mike Richards was a very potent, short-handed player in the NHL. We know about his prowess, and they loaded up the PK here with Patrick Sharp, who on the 2-on-1 gets it to Mike Richards in the middle, and he beats him high blocker, and that gives the Flyers the lead. Much like the big club, who's got 10 shorties on the season, you got one here tonight with the Flyers alumni. Nice finish by Richie.
So again, probably the two most appropriate goal scorers if you were scripting this, which I guarantee you they have not. Had enough to do on our hands with this game, but what a start here for Philadelphia as they've got a 2-1 lead now. Mike Richards with the second goal of the game. We are under 2 minutes to play here in the second period as one's lofted in on net. Save Leighton, and he got the rebound and covered that up.
Boy, Leighton looks sharp. Leighton, good save there. He made two really good saves, tracking pucks through traffic, and then able to kind of, keep that puck from getting a rebound. I mean, he's got a new stick. He's got new gloves and new pillows.
He should have dragged those pads down the street behind his car a little bit, I think. Here's a shot deflected wide. It's loose to the side of the net and then knocked out of harm's way. Chris Therrien's down there playing some defense with Dennis Seidenberg, just like the old days. Out to Ray Bourque. Here's Patrick Mullen playing catch with Ray Bourque. He'll remember that for a while. Mullen, high slot, shot save made Leighton, and he'll hold it. Mike Leighton, I tell you what, he was one of the best goalies I've ever seen at the AHL level when he was going up against the Philadelphia Phantoms. Baz Bastian Award winner as the AHL goaltender of the year back in earlier in his career. He was in net for a 5-overtime game for the Albany River Rats against the Philadelphia Phantoms back in the day that the Phantoms won in the middle of the night on a goal by Ryan Patolny, if you remember him.
Yeah, I do remember Ryan Patolny.
That clip is on YouTube somewhere with Mike Thornton on the call. Here is Todd Fedoruk blazing through center again, and what a release from Todd
There's our
Fedoruk.
first check of the game, so if we have a sponsor, hit it there. I'm going to leave it to Fridge to make that first check.
At least he hit Patrick Mullen and not somebody that's twice his age.
Yeah.
So the Flyers with a great end to that second period here at Wells Fargo Center. Mike Richards with the go-ahead goal, and Todd Fedoruk giving his all for that scoring opportunity. The Flyers will head to the locker room up 2-1 after 2 periods. We're going to hear from Jim Jackson here when we come back. We're going to haul him on in if we can find him, and we're going to talk about some of his memories of his early days with the Flyers back in the early 90s. That's coming up as we continue here from Wells Fargo Center.
The new Wells Fargo Center, home to a new future.
That same feeling?
With a new view.
The same energy.
With new flavor. New beginnings.
This is where Philly's heart beats. The new Wells Fargo Center.
Tim McGraw. In concert. The Standing Room Only Tour 2024. A night filled with your favorite songs. Wells Fargo Center, June 20th, 2024. With special guest Carly Pierce. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Tim McGraw, live in Philadelphia.
And there's the final buzzer. Cats win, Cats win.
Nova Nation Villanova basketball is back at the Wells Fargo Center. This is your chance to be a part of a tradition of excellence. Purchase your tickets today for a Big East matchup versus Providence on Sunday, February 4th at 6 p.m. Act now and visit WellsFargoCenterPhilly.com or call 610-519-4100 to secure your seats so you don't miss out on any of the action. Villanova basketball at the Wells Fargo Center. Your ticket to the big moment.
Elevate your experience. Where flavors put on a show. Views amaze. And connections take center stage. Where hospitality is the spectacle. And business meets the moment. Elevate the ordinary into the extraordinary with Wells Fargo Center Premium Seating.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Center. Second intermission. Flyers alumni and the Boston Bruins alumni here as we kick off the Mark Recchi Hall of Fame weekend. The Flyers alumni leading 2-1 on a second period goal by Mike Richards. We are joined here in this intermission report by the television voice of the Philadelphia Flyers, Jim Jackson, who decided to come slum it with the rat-faced peoples of radio here tonight. But JJ,
you're on camera.
Well, you give them enough money, they'll put anybody on camera. You started here though on radio in 1993, and you came in here in the tail end of Gene Hart's career. And I wanted to start, I guess, before we get into your memories of these players, by your memories of him, because he was certainly part of that the Stanley Cup team is being honored here tonight. Huge part of the first 35, 40 years of this franchise's history, and you had an opportunity to work alongside him there your first few years.
Yeah, it was outstanding. My first 2 years on radio, he was still doing television, so to watch a master of his craft at work was a lot of fun. The story I tell all my broadcast coaching students was about Gene's prep, which was unbelievable. He had this big black binder full of notes and information before computers, and so a month went by, 2 months went by, and I finally got the courage to ask him. I said, Gene, hockey's a really fast sport. how much of that, what percentage of all those notes do you actually use? And he said, and he smiled, first of all, like the cat who ate the canary. So I knew I was walking into something here. But he said, about 10%. And, of course, I went right for it. I said, 10%? That means 90% of your work is waste. It doesn't seem very efficient to me. He goes, oh, but Jim, I don't know which 10% from one game to the next. And I use that with my students all the time because I prep like crazy too, and much of it is never used, right? But I learned that from Gene and so much more. I mean, he was the eloquent messenger of glorious times. I'm envious of him because back then the TV announcers got to call it right through to the end, and what a feeling that must have been when he got to call the two Cup championships. And he was just such a fascinating guy to be around. You didn't have to talk about hockey with him. He was a well-educated guy. You could talk about opera. You could talk about horse racing. You could talk about so many other things. So, and it's so great to see his whole family here.
Yeah,
his wife
absolutely.
Sarah's here, and obviously Lauren carries on the tradition as the great anthenist. And boy, was it great to hear her sing "God Bless America."
Absolutely. You mentioned that binder. Coachy famously dumped a cup of coffee on that, didn't he once?
Did. Coachy found
that's what you call beer now, yeah.
Canadian ginger ale, I believe they call it. He spilled on a couple of he got Gene, he got me the night of the 5 overtime game in Pittsburgh. In the first period. He spilled soda all over my notes.
Didn't even wait till the overtime.
No, so like I kept them. And now they just look like glob. There's just nothing there, But Coachy's Coachy, and it's great to see him involved as well.
I remember as a kid, Gene's the soundtrack to my youth.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I remember,
so many people.
Remember you had the old boom boxes. I had the boom box behind my pillow in the bed, and
you were hiding it, right?
Yeah, and I would listen to games. I had to be in bed before
AM radio, right? Yeah.
And when Gene would sign off with "Good night, good hockey" at the end of a season, I would cry.
Oh,
because I'd be like, "Oh, it's the end of the season. I gotta wait till next year." My whole life has been counting down to the next season. I'm miserable.
That affected you deeply because you still complain about off season.
I'm miserable, and people complain about 82 games. I will never. I love.
He wants 162
I go,
for hockey.
82 games in front of me, great. It's that when that last one's over, I go bananas.
Yeah. But I mean,
there's 2 seasons in my life. Yeah. There's hockey season and there's off season.
Right.
And I'm miserable.
Well,
in
the
the
good thing about that is the off season is getting shorter because there's so many other things going on with the draft and free agency and all that. So at least you still all summer long you're there with your reports. So. I sometimes like, what's he going to come up with here on August the 4th? What is he going to come up with?
I have that conversation with myself quite often.
But what you said about Gene is so true. I mean, for so many other people around this market, of course, for baseball was Harry Callis, and this market's been blessed with Hall of Fame announcers. And we don't even realize as we're calling games the impact we have on people until an event like this, you're down there and the fans come up to you, and it really is a sobering thing. But with Gene, I mean, he got to call as this area learned from him the sport of hockey.
He educated him.
He not only called the games, he taught the whole area about this sport. And we all know how the fandom grew so quickly. And you can see with the players. And by the way, I did not expect that, but I was actually crying during that ceremony because to watch, they haven't had this many of the bullies together in a long time.
Yeah.
And to see them all together, and you could see the emotion when God Bless America was being sung, and just the love they still have for one another. And Gene was part of that. I mean, he called all that, and he helped build the love that the fans
He's
had.
He's a pillar
for
of this
teams.
organization.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So absolutely great, and so great to see his whole family here.
Yeah. So your career spanned both of Mark Recchi's stays here.
It did.
He was here when you got here.
Yes.
He leaves in a trade that revitalized the entire organization and set the course for the next decade, and then he comes back. So I'm curious of your recollections of a lot of those events. I mean, obviously you didn't want to lose Mark Recchi in that trade, but Flyers get those guys back. It's just huge for the organization, and then he comes back a little later.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got here, it was Eric Lindros' second year, and Rexy played that year and had a great year. It was the year after his record-setting season, and then the next year was when he was traded. But what I remember about Rexy was, I mean, I came down in the first practice I saw Lindros, of course. You see him, and it's like, oh, this guy's humongous, and he's flying out there. And then there's this little guy with all these choppy strides, and he's flying out there, and he's scoring every time he goes down there. I mean, he was such a super skilled player, but I think even though he was that skilled, most people remember him for his determination because he wasn't necessarily fast, but he looked fast on the ice, and he was so determined he'd never give up in a play. And obviously he did have great skill and ability to finish and set people up. was a lot of fun. But then when he comes back, he's a veteran player when he comes back. And this team was at that stage really close every year, right? And he scored that triple overtime goal in Toronto, and his wife was just about to give birth. That's one of my favorite moments. He scores. He wants to get home. He scores the goal. And he scored so many big goals, and it was a lot of fun to watch. Some players are just great. It's great to watch them. Others, they're fun to actually watch. And when they touch the puck, you kind of think something special is going to happen. I was talking to you about this with Owen Tippett the other day. Like, he's getting to the stage now in his career when he gets back healthy, and he's certainly healthy financially.
Well, buying dinner in Florida, isn't he?
But he's getting to the point now when he touches the puck and he's got a little room out there, you really start getting excited.
You start going like this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was that way with Rex. It really was. And there was little choppy strides, and he got so much done. What a great career he had. And he should have been in the Hall of Fame probably years ago here, but obviously he had to get into some other Hall of Fames. And he won 3 cups in other cities. He's got a lot of Hall of Fames he's going to be in, team Hall of Fames, but all deserved, and such a great guy and so much fun to be around.
JJ, I've always wondered, about a high school teacher. Every 4 years a class cycles through, and we see a lot of these guys come into the league, and they don't even have hair in their armpits yet, right?
Oh, I know.
When they're drafted, they're not shaving.
Yeah.
Wait till you meet Denver Barkey.
Yes. And then you see this arc of a player's career, and then we see some of them here tonight. As a guy who's broadcasted for this team a long time, there's a thrill in that. There's also a, where did the time go in that?
That came, so many different directions here tonight. First, watching the Bullies.
Hits you in the gut, doesn't it?
It hits you. And sadly, we've lost some of the Bullies, Rick McLeish and Ross Lonsberry, Wayne Stevenson, and others. And there's the sadness to that and the time that's passing. But then to see these guys, I haven't seen some of them in several years, and time's marching on. And then to see the guys who are playing in the game, who are guys I saw from the beginning of their careers when they were kids. Brian Boucher was not my broadcast partner. I remember him when he looked about 10 years old when they drafted him, and came up and was a great goalie and led us to the great run in 2000.
His rookie year,
and then he came back late in his career and led us on another great run. So and absolutely, time is marching on, but it's just great to see them all together.
Sobering.
See Chemo team and to see all these guys. It's been a great event. And how about the crowd?
Yeah,
unbelievable.
We hope Bush is all right for you tomorrow. We're looking.
He might be a little
to
sore,
that.
but I think he's going to talk about some of those saves he made.
Absolutely.
On Ray Bork, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe.
Exactly.
Jim Jackson joining us here at Wells Fargo Center. Thank you, sir, for your time, of
My
course.
pleasure,
And we are looking forward to tomorrow and then the second half of the season.
You got another period to call.
We do. We have one more. We're going to get to that.
Is your voice going to keep up?
Yeah, we're doing just fine. These guys are my pace. We're going to get to that in just a moment. Take a quick break. Come back and look at some highlights here from Wells Fargo Center in this second intermission.
You were right, and I was wrong. I was way off on Philly. Way off on Philly. That team competes hard.
To the shot, he scores! Moves around the Toronto in on goal, tip and dazzle! For Walker with a quick shot, he scores! He scores!
Let's go! Put your hands together for the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters. This isn't just basketball, people. This is where what just happened happens all the time. Don't miss the Harlem Globetrotters 2024 World Tour presented by Jersey Mike Subs at Wells Fargo Center on March 3rd. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for tickets.
World Tour. One day my son came home from school and he came back with a note from the teacher and it said, "Can you please pack bottled waters for your son?" 3 bottles. I go, "Why are they turning off the water fountains?" "Joe, what is this all about?" He goes, "Oh, there's fluoride in the water and it's not good for you." I go, "Joe, you don't brush your teeth. You should drink all of that water."
Friday, March 22nd, Wells Fargo Center. Tickets on sale now at wellsfargocenterphilly.com. Joe Coy on his all-new World Tour.
Get ready for the greatest show on earth, the all-new Ringling. Action-packed fun for the whole family. Spectacular talent from around the world. Superhuman feats you have to see to believe. Fun-filled laughter that never stops. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, the greatest show on earth. Coming to Wells Fargo Center February 16th through 19th. Tickets on sale now. Visit ringling.com for show details.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Center. Second intermission. Flyers alumni and the Boston Bruins alumni. And the Flyers leading it 2-1 after 2 periods of play as we take a look at the second period highlights.
A lot of good goaltending in this alumni affair. The goalies are making a good account of themselves. Here you see Scott Hart will get that puck over to Mike Richards. Looks like Richie lets a little off that shot. Get a nice pad save there. Good opportunity, though. Here you go. Brian Boucher catches that friendly fire from Brad Marsh, but makes the save, then gets the cover on the long side of the net. Bouch, don't do that with the blocker hand too much, grabbing that puck and letting go of the stick. Then Dave Brown here does a good job defending the blue line, creates the 2-on-1 opportunity, and Riley Cote draws the penalty, which put it a unique power play out there on the ice. And here is another good save from, this is not a save, this is actually off the bar. That second shot that Michael Layton saw was a breakaway. He did a good job tracking pucks through traffic. Nice left pad save there as the Flyers keep him off the board. Lates has stopped everything he has seen so far. And here's Patrick Sharp with a nice setup to Brad Marsh. Good glove save by the Bruins alumni goaltender. And we'll get a look here at another save by Michael Layton. See this tracking the puck right through the massive bodies and then going the other way. It's Patrick Sharp gathers that puck along with Mike Richards. Richards goes in, gets the puck. High blocker, and that's the difference in this game. 2-1 Flyers alumni over the Bruins through 2 periods of play.
It has been a fantastic evening so far here at Wells Fargo Center as all these legends come back from all these different eras, and they are set to go for a third period when we come back. Flyers lead the Bruins alumni 2-1 after 2.
I'm a winner to the day I die. That was fascinating. Score! Vince Jones has another one here for Philadelphia. Top and he scores. He is dead.
Be there for an emo evening featuring special guest, The Starting Line, on Saturday, January 27th at Wells Fargo Center when the Wings face off against the San Diego Seals. Get your tickets now.
I'm a winner to the day I die. That was fascinating. Scott Downey. Vince Jones has another one here for Philadelphia. Top and he scores. He is dead. Big goal for Philadelphia. Shooting, but here's Reardon with a goal. Here's Reza Terrence. Tucks one home.
Tickets on sale now at wingslax.com.
Here in the alumni game as the kickoff to Mark Recchi's Hall of Fame weekend is well underway. Flyers leading it 2-1 after the first 2 periods here tonight, and that third period is just ahead. We got a special guest here in the booth with us as we get ready for the third period. Flyers general manager Danny Briere. Danny, welcome. Do you wish you were? You can't hear? Okay. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Do you wish you were out there? Are you glad you have an excuse not to be out there? What's the vibe?
I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching. Yeah,
that's a great answer.
What a turnout, though. It's so amazing. Our fans to see so many of them, come and support older guys. It just tells you so much about the fan base here in Philadelphia.
Did we get a jersey?
The Flyers are now orange. You'll see this on your screen that they've changed jerseys, so different look here for the third period. We were talking earlier in this broadcast about now being 14 years since that cup run, and you can almost now look at it as a historical perspective. It's been so long. What are your favorite memories about that? Obviously, there's a lot of things that will live on in lore from the comeback from down 3-0 and all that. But what sticks out for you from that run?
There's so many moments in that year. Like I think the 2-month stretch from the last game of the regular season that year when we needed the shootout to clinch and make it into the playoffs. To the chance to play for the Stanley Cup final, coming 2 wins away. Yeah. Obviously, the comeback was pretty special against the Bruins. Personally, selfishly, the chance to play against Montreal in the third round to clinch to go to the Stanley Cup was also pretty special.
Talk about, going to Montreal, that Game 5 here. You saw Mike Richards just pick up a shorty.
Yeah.
First of all, good to have Richie back in the fold,
yes.
right?
He's so excited. I mean, I'm so happy. He's we talk about Bobby Clark as the ultimate flyer, but, to me, having the chance to play with Mike Richards, like, he's the closest to the way Bobby Clark could have played,
Not the fastest, not the hardest shot, but a
it's
ton
just
of
something
heart.
special about those
The
players.
winner.
Yeah,
Yep.
and natural winner. So it's so good to see him back here to spend some time with us.
Well, no flies on you. You got some business done today. I know you came to terms with Ryan Poehling, and you also extend Owen Tippett.
Correct.
Talk about the contract. I think the price for Owen was probably only going to go up the way he's playing when he gets back healthy. But to get that deal done, 8 years for a core player like Owen Tippett, great piece of business for you.
Yeah, it's he's going to be a big piece of the future for the team. We realized that he wanted to sign long term. He wants to be a flyer, so that told us a lot right there.
Yep.
And when you look at the combination, the size, the power, the scoring ability, it's not something that you can find very many places.
Yeah.
So for us, the chance to extend him, quality person too, great teammate, just fit everything we were looking for.
Well, Danny, we know you got your real job to tend to here tonight. We certainly couldn't have a game like this, though, without you being a part of it. So thanks for stopping by.
Guys.
You got to play in the next one. This you sitting out there. I know you're the
I'll
GM
have to start
now.
training again. I'll start now.
Good coaching job, by the way, there in the first period. So
thank you, guys.
Danny Briere, GM of the Philadelphia Flyers, joining us, and glad to have some good news today here for the Flyers'
Great
future.
news.
As Owen Tippett and Ryan Poehling re-up with the club. We are underway here in the third period. The Flyers are now orange. And here comes Mark Recchi on a breakaway. What timing? Recchi moving in, holds and scores! A magnificent second goal for Mark Recchi, and the Flyers lead it 3-1.
Wow, what a tremendous finish that is. Recchi gets in behind the digs. First of all, good pass up the ice. Look, Rex moving up that right side. Waits out the goalie and goes, almost knocked the water bottle off the top of the net. John LeClaire, not known as a distributor, with a great area pass, and Recchi goes bar down. Beautiful finish, and boy, the fans have gotten what they came to see so far tonight.
And it is a fantastic crowd here tonight at Wells Fargo Center. Creeping over 10,000 here today. A lot of times in an event like this, Jason, we only use the lower part of the building, but we needed both floors here tonight.
Yeah, great crowd here tonight. And these are so much fun on a Friday night. Mike Richards here.
Here's Hartnell. Back to Richards.
Oh, they're doing everything they can to get Hartnell one.
And now on the far side at Seidenberg with Mike Knuble as the 2000s guys team up, 2010s, I guess, if you will. They kind of crossed the bridge into a couple of different decades.
Might see some of the younger guys here in this final period. Some of the older guys who have maybe tapped out. Ooh, good save.
A nice kick save there on Richards by TJ Lesky. Here's a pass to Richards left side, and Lesky comes up with a save there as well. As Richards had a lot in the net to shoot at, but that puck ends up in the pads of the guest Boston goaltender. Again, a couple of them tonight. TJ Lesky and Matt Truninger are the Boston goalies tonight, both with the U.S. Naval Special Warfare Unit, and they have both looked outstanding this evening.
Yeah, they've made a real good account of themselves. Brian Propp out there now with Donald Brashear and Patrick Sharp.
I'll vote for these orange jerseys being easier to read from up here than the white ones were, that's for sure.
They look tremendous, don't
Here
they?
comes Mark Mowers around behind the net looking to center. He'll take it to the corner. They do really look outstanding. On the right side, Bruins getting set up. It's Chris Kelly in that corner.
So you just have a 2-goal lead now, and you're going to see some pushback here from the Bruins, oddly enough.
Out in front, Mowers put one just wide. And they'll come back out to the point. Patrick Mullins on it there. He'll send it down the wall. Here's Kelly. Into the high slot. And the Boston Bruins will send it in deep as Townsend got around behind the net. Flyers to it first. And spinning away from pressure is Dennis Seidenberg. Ahead for Brian Propp. And now to Patrick Sharp.
Well, Propper has scored a lot of goals in his NHL career. You look at his numbers, and I'll put him up against just about anybody in that Hall of Fame as well. His career numbers are eye-popping. Eye-propping, I should say. Yeah,
just
that
here
was
with
a dad joke.
Just here with the Flyers, 849 career points in 790 games, 369 goals, 480 assists.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Those are absurd numbers.
Oh, here's a trouble in on net for Leske as that puck off the face-off kind of pinballed around a little bit.
I mean, are there any guys with 1,000 points that aren't in the Hall of Fame? He's got 1,004.
I can't think of many.
Yeah.
Here is Propp out at center, and he'll drop it back off for Mark Howe. Still got that, you can still look at the way Mark Howe plays and be taken back to the 80s, can't you? He's still got that stride, that
so silky
way of carrying himself as he comes in over the line, into the circle. Howe centers for Brashear, and he scores! That might be a core memory for Donald Brashear as he's set up by Mark Howe. Yeah. And now a 4-1 Flyers lead.
Oh, it will be. When you're set up by a Howe, you don't forget that.
Nope.
Still, Mark Howe and the smoothness of that skating stride. I've often said, Brian, you see the read by Howie here. He goes up the left side, passes himself off the boards, and then just puts it on a tee for Brashear to slap that into the open side of the net on the backhand. Puts the Flyers alumni up 4-1, and Mark Howe in any era would have been great. In this era in particular, he would have been spectacular.
And you could say the same about Eric Lindros, obviously. Some of these guys you could just pick up and drop them into 2024.
By my account, every goal that's been scored tonight in honor of Mark Recchi's Hall of Fame weekend has had an 8 in their number. 87, 18, and 2 by number 8. You'll take that. That's
Here's
symmetry.
Todd Fedoruk cutting across the slot. It's poked off his stick. And here's a pass ahead. Skrudland's going to bring this in over the line. Drops it into the circle. Here's another centering pass. And the Bruins score. And that is Brian Smolinski. Let's interrupt this goal to go hear from Craig Berube.
Unbelievable. A lot of guys in this lineup that were very tough, and some of them are my teammates, and a couple of them I fought on on Boston and on this team too. So a lot of tough guys.
You want to get back into coaching?
I do. So we'll see. Just wait for the opportunity and see what kind of game plan they come up with, and want to go to a good organization and see what happens.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, Coach.
That's Craig Berube checking in with Steve Coates, who is now 2 for his last 2 on interviewing guys during goals. Here is Fedoruk coming around behind the net. Again, shielding the puck here well.
I was so happy when Craig Berube won that cup in St. Louis. He's a great hockey mind. You think of Chief the way he was as a player, you don't equate like that element to him, but he's such a good hockey coach. And for him to win it was just awesome.
Was that a blocked shot?
That was from Brad Marsh.
Did Brad Marsh just go down and block a shot? My goodness me.
Yeah. Can't take the compete out of certain guys.
I understand you get in a game like this and you're not always thinking things through, but let's call one of those enough for a night.
Yeah.
Eric Lindros trying to pull the puck away from Joey Mullen along the near side wall.
Wouldn't mind C88 to pick up one here.
Here's Chris Therien with a nice rink-wide pass. Finds Recchi down the right wing. Out in front, LeClaire was there, but he couldn't get a stick to it. And it's chopped back out to center by Patrick Mullen, to his dad on the left side. And rolled off a little bit of contact there from Chris Therien, who, again, fortunately, knew what he was doing. That would be a bad idea. Threw one across the ice, did the Bruins, and Patrick Mullen back to it. Around to Joey Mullen behind the net. Gotta be a thrill for these guys to be playing in this game together here in Philadelphia. Patrick Mullen's shot deflected off a flyer, sticking to the corner.
It's caught out here a little bit on a long shift. A long shift is anything over 18 seconds in this game.
Here is Lindros to the loose puck, and he's going to throw it ahead to center. He had a man going. That was Recchi, but Patrick Mullen ruins everything for everybody here. Here's a giveaway, though, and now Lindros has it back along the left wing wall. Backhander across the goal mouth is blocked down. And it comes right back out in front. And Lindros was circling, but Lesky gets that puck first. Now here's Bob Sweeney moving in. Save made by Leighton. Crucial Niski back out in front. It's loose in the slot. Who wants it? Sweeney gets it back, and he puts it over the crossbar and into the netting, out of play.
Joe Watson absolutely spilling it out there. This may be his last game, and he told me the other day, as long as they plug in that scoreboard, he wants to win. Look at our dry scrape here as well.
I want to see if I thought I saw from Joe Watson. We'll look at that when we come back, as we do have a timeout on the ice with 9:58 left to go in the third period. The Flyers up 4-2.
165-5883. Hey, 165-5883. We won half of the 48,000.
You were right, and I was wrong. I was way off on Philly. Way off on Philly. That team competes hard.
Foot to the shot. He scores! Moves around Petrano. In on goal. Tippett dazzles. For Walker. Walker with a quick shot. He scores! He scores! I'm a winner to the day I die. That was fascinating. Score! Jones has another one here for Philadelphia. Top and he scores. He is dead. Big goal for Philadelphia. Shooting, but here's Reardon with the goal. Here's Reza Terrence. Tucks one home.
Home stretch of the alumni game here at Wells Fargo Center. The Flyers alumni leading the Boston Bruins alumni 4-2. Joe Watson has forgotten how old he is, Jason, I think.
Joe's never known how old he is. He knows how to play the game one way, and he's always played it the same way. Honestly, and he's just such a character. And
he ended up on his keister there in front of the net after that last scramble, and again, you can be pretty far away from your playing career, but those instincts, they still kick in, don't they?
Oh, they do. When it comes to competing, it doesn't matter.
Fans having a good time here at Wells Fargo Center tonight. Here's another chance for Scott Hartnell. Moving in, holding, past the net. Stuffer attempt is stopped by Lesky.
It's unbelievable. It's like somebody put saran wrap on the front of the goal line.
That was a coach's corner once, wasn't it? Here's a chance on the left side. That's knocked wide. Bruins knocking on the door, trying to cut into this deficit, but now it's scooped ahead. One more chance for Hartnell. Does he have another shot down the ice? Puts it in front. Save at the post. Mike Knuble looking for that top corner, and he found iron. Hartsy's still out there.
Joe Watson's still out there, too.
Mike Knuble sniped by a pass from the far side. Ritchie took him out. And here comes Ray Bork up the left side as the Flyers get a change. 9 minutes left to go here in this third period. Here's a nice save by Mike Leighton on a good bid, from Graham Townsend, who's already got a goal in this game. Another goal scorer is Donald Brashear, and he's going to turn on the Jets down the right side. Around the corner, save Lesky, and the rebound also turned aside by the Boston netminder. Centering pass, and another bid stopped by T.J. Lesky on that left side circle.
Game's opening up a little bit right now. You're seeing a lot more off the rush. And the teams are going, all right, we're in the final 10 minutes. I can gut it out here and push real hard. Here comes Brashear up the right side. Nice little dangle to the middle. Good save, and he managed to re-corral that puck, spin it back out in front for a good chance.
Coach has a guest on the bench he'd like to talk to. Thank you very much, Lou. I'm with
see who Coach
former captain of the Philadelphia Flyers, Mike Richardson. Richie, your first alumni game, you're back.
I'm back, yeah, just to see you.
And it's a pleasure to see you. But what is it like? I mean, it is your first time back. You had some success. You went to LA, won a cup. I mean, but to come back here, it's, I know, 2 cups, okay. Okay, 2 cups. He won 2 cups, okay. So, but what's it like coming back? Because this is where it all started for you.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great seeing teammates like Scott, Noobs that I played with early on. And then obviously you remember the kind of first in your career, the first goal, first game, stuff like that. So all that was in a Flyers jersey, and obviously happy to come back and see everyone.
It's good to see you. And we remind everybody, 2 cups he won. 2.
Here's another stop by Michael Leighton, who has been busy here in the last couple of minutes. Has made a couple of pretty nice saves.
Yeah, Leighton has looked really sharp in this game. It's been a well goaltended game at both ends. You don't really expect that in these alumni type affairs, but all the goalies that have appeared in here, Bush did a nice job, Leighton doing a nice job now, and the Flyers with a 4-2 lead.
Bruins still knocking on the door here, but now Dennis Seidenberg is going to take care of a loose puck ahead to, I think, Dave Brown, and now moving it up further up the ice, but it's knocked away by Boston, and they're back the other way. Dennis Seidenberg back checking, but it's loose in the slot, and Boston not able to get a shot away. As, again, Dave Brown goes sliding into the boards. They've been at this long enough that, again, the instincts are kicking in. Here's Fedor going to the net, and he tips it just wide off the feed from Riley Cote. Now back in front again. Fridge fans on this shot. And Boston's going to control and flip it out to center. I'm not sure that there's much in life more of a joy than seeing Todd Fedoruk and Riley Cote on a 2-on-1. Here is Fridge dumping it into the corner, and Dave Brown's going to chase this down. This line would have been a good T-shirt if they all played at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think there would have been a lot of opposition lines looking to jump over the boards when they're out there. Good play from Leclerc.
Oh, look at this go. John Leclerc. Scott Lindros going down the left wing with him. Leclerc to Lindros. Score! It never gets old, does it? John Leclerc setting up the Big E. And it's a 5-2 Flyers lead.
A great play from Leclerc to start the rush opportunity. He gets it back. Lindros driving hard to the far post. And I don't care what age he is not going to miss that. Not with the hands he's got. Tremendous setup off the backhand from Leclerc. Backhand of Lindros. 5-2 Flyers. The Legion of Doom strikes again.
Well, you asked for it. You said there's one other guy to get a goal tonight. It'd be Barrick Lindros. And
synergy of the number 8 tonight.
Here comes Leclerc looking for more for Lindros. He tips it wide. Now we just have to get Rex's hat trick. Is that all we need to do to finish off the night here? Final 5 minutes. Here comes Boston, and they fan on a shot. It goes around behind the net, tipped away off the stick by Leighton. It is pulled free by Smolinski. Out to the point. It's put in on net. Whoa. Deflected. Save made by Leighton, and a nice play, but defensively there by Lindros to prevent a second effort. Kimmo Timonen backing into his own end. He'll move it ahead for Leclerc. Long for Richards. Richards has Recchi going with him and just could not quite reach that pass. Recchi winds it out toward the point. Now he'll throw it in, and Scotty Hartnell had some larceny on his mind, trying to sneak up on a Bruin there, but it's knocked away from him. Here's Patrick Mullen. Stops the line.
I think we know that Hartsy's not going to ruin the synergy of the 8's scoring in this game.
Joey Mullen taking one to the net, poked off his stick. Here is Hartnell, pulls it free. Here he goes down the right wing. Hartnell for Richards in front, drop pass, trying to find Mike Knuble, and he just overskated it.
You get caught up in the moment and you say, just shoot it and score.
Here's another opportunity for Hartnell, but they can't get it to him.
Oh, he is cherry picking right now.
Well, you can't get back. That's why. Here's Joey Mullen with a shot save made by Leighton. Mullen still got it. I tell you what, 500 goals in this league. No small feat in any era. There's a long pass ahead off the mark. Comes to Leighton. Almost gave it away in the slot. He get some help from Knuble. And now Dennis Seidenberg's going to get this out to center. Up to Knuble. He's got Hartnell out there with him. He of the 5-minute shift. Hartnell trying to come down the wall. Knocked away, though, by Patrick Mullen.
And Hartnell is not going on his side of the red line the entire 5 minutes.
The Bruins coming down with Kenny Linsman leading the way. It's knocked off a stick, though, to the near wall. Hartnell finally, reluctantly, to the bench as Boston will maneuver. It's LaRose at center. Back into the Bruins zone for Ray Bork. Headman pass to Bob Sweeney. Sweeney crosses past. Here's a pass down to the right side. Some nice little zone entry work there by the Bruins alumni, but Flyers able to snuff that out. Coming up on 2 minutes to play here in this third period. Flyers alumni leading at 5-2. There's a shot whistled wide of the net. Long rebound is going to be out of the capabilities of Donald Brashear. Boston back through center. It's Ray Bork past Brian Propp. Knocked off Bork's stick, and here's Patrick Sharp. He's got to step on a man. Sharp moving into the circle. He scores! Patrick Sharp from that right side circle puts it home at 6-2.
Tremendous Sharp showing that he's a little bit more in shape. He's got a little extra step here. Goaltender comes out, takes a lot of ice, and he just beats him 5-0. Just beats him clean. Good release. And in his Flyers alumni debut, Patrick Sharp nets the Flyers 6 goals, and they'll walk away with the win here tonight.
Patrick Sharp, chiseled from granite.
Flyers goal, scoreman number 9, Patrick
perhaps
Sharp.
puts a cap on the scoring here tonight.
Patrick Sharp is a display of not all men are created equal.
Patrick Sharp scores for the Flyers alumni. This one is unassisted.
Bruins looking for one more goal. Here's Kelly in the slot. Dropped it off. It's knocked away in the corner. One of the Bruins is elected to go without a helmet. That's Jay Miller for the rest of the night. Here comes Fedoruk moving in. Fedoruk scoops it up, and he caught the post. How about that from Todd Fedoruk? Here comes Kelly down the right side. Kelly holding, shooting save made by Leighton. Fridge gets the rebound. And I don't know if he quite has it in him for another wind sprint down the right side like that, but he puts it out in front, gets it back from Dave Brown, deflected it wide, it's still loose, and they may have to come get Fridge off the ice at this point because I don't know if he's got enough to get back to the bench.
Get out the fishing pole. There's no way he's getting back to the bench. Not in 22 seconds.
This is not a fast change.
It's been an entertaining alumni game.
My God, what an evening. Mauer's trying to put it out in front. Oh, a great save by Leighton to cap off the night. As you hear the crowd roaring its approval, the Philadelphia Flyers alumni win it going away. 6-2 is our final here at Wells Fargo Center.
Wow, what a night. And there's Joe Watson embracing Michael Leighton. That'll be Joe Watson's supposed last game of his hockey life. And that was an entertaining affair tonight. I don't think there's a fan in this building that didn't enjoy themselves tonight. They saw what they came to see. 2 goals from Mark Recchi, a shorthanded goal from Mike Richards. Eric Lindros gets on the board. Scott Hartnell had 15 opportunities, didn't bury a single one of them. And just a great night here tonight. Tremendous atmosphere and the ultimate sign of hockey respect. Players in the handshake line at the center ice. And there's a lot of legends out there tonight on that ice. And Ray Bork here in the building tonight. Pleasure to watch Borky. And just an awesome night in celebration of this great game we call hockey.
again, if you were to script it, I don't know how you could have done it anyway. Notice Dave Brown's Louisville TPS gloves that are at least 30 years old.
They haven't made those since '89.
My goodness me. But again, not that you would have scripted something, but everybody that you wanted to see contribute here tonight contributed. And quite a night at Wells Fargo Center. Is again, that's the man of the hour there, Mark Recchi.
Yeah.
He'll have his Hall of Fame induction ceremony tomorrow. Again, be here by 12 noon if you're coming out. And we'd love to have you here. Tickets still available at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. They are continuing the handshakes here. Again, everybody here is pretty happy to see one another. And they're going to gather here for a team photo with everybody that's involved.
Yeah. Great stuff from just everybody in the way this game was played tonight. Here's the first goal that the Boston Bruins score. Bush makes that first save, then Townsend comes in, picks up some loose change. And then we see here Patrick Sharp going up the right side, sets up Mike Richards. That's the short-handed goal. And Richie with the open palm hand, DeCelli, as per usual. And Mark Recchi here on the off wing is able to just outlast the goaltender, tries to knock that water bottle off the upper deck of the net. And that put the Flyers up 4-2 in the game. And Mark Howe here with a nice little setup as well for Donald Brashear. As Brash didn't score a ton of NHL goals, but he picks up a nice alumni goal here. And 3-star selection happening right now. John LeClaire with the number 3 stars. The players assemble at center ice to take a photo. Joe Watson, the number 2 star tonight. And the number 1 star, I think we all know who that's going to be. That's going to be number 8.
A great goal from Patrick Sharp as the Flyers pulled away. And there you have your 3 stars of the game. Brought to you by Toyota. Always a great scene when you see something like this. All these guys getting together. They've made this sport their life, and they're able to continue doing so here in retirement. And giving everybody a taste again of their youth. You hear these names called, and especially when they go together chronologically, but even if they don't, even if they cross generations, it just kind of takes you back to when you first became a fan of one of these teams. And like you said, Jason, you see some of these guys, even at this age that they're at, skate, and you can still see the basis of what they were back in their prime.
Yeah, you see glimpses of it because the skating stride may not look as fast or as much burst, but you still see the signatures of their play, the way that they move on the ice, the way Kimmo Timonen's low center of gravity, or Mark Howe's smoothness, or Mark Recchi's release on the off wing, whatever it is. They're all signatures that you remember and you'll never forget. And just because they're not moving as fast as they once did or as explosive as they once were, you still see it. And it brings you right back to the moments of their career that led them here to a game and an event like this.
That's Chris Cozen there getting a selfie with Mark Howe, and who wouldn't?
Yeah, Hockey Hall of Famer.
That's Mike McDevitt who got the selfie. There's Chris Cozen on the top side there. Again, these referees and linesmen with a great treat tonight, and getting an opportunity to work together one more time after making a career of it earlier on.
Nice to see Mike Knuble didn't catch any blood this game. I think he got cut good. Last game, right? Last time he played in an alumni game, I think he caught some stitches.
Keith Jones offering Ray Bork a roster spot there a moment ago, I think, too. Almost a Flyer.
Did he play in Colorado with Jonesy?
Possibly. My brain cannot process that right now, but it was about the same time, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So